The Dallas Mavericks making moves last night, acquiring Christian Wood from the Houston Rockets in exchange for Boban Marjanovic, Sterling Brown, Trey Burke, Marquese Chriss, and the number 26 overall pick in this year's NBA draft, which, Chop, is a week from today, is the NBA draft. But the Dallas Mavericks will not have a first or second round pick in this year's NBA draft.
So business as usual around here.
Pretty much, as they move on from the number 26 pick. And, of course, they did not have a second round pick because they moved that during the trade with the Washington Wizards that saw Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans be brought to Dallas in exchange, of course, for Kristaps Porzingis. So no draft picks for this year's Dallas Mavericks going into this summer, but they do acquire a big man in Christian Wood, who last year averaged over 18 points, or nearly 18 points, nearly 11 rebounds, 10.1 rebounds per game, and just at 26 years of age has a lot of upside to him, a good defensive rebounder, not necessarily a great shot blocker or great defensively, but he does help with this team in terms of being a little bit of a stretch five and can rebound, which is something that the Mavericks desperately needed as a team that last year was not necessarily great on the defensive glass. Christian Wood now part of the Dallas, or will be a part of the Dallas Mavericks.
Maybe he's a less soft Porzingis.
Not a less. No, hold on now. Porzingis minding his own business, having a nice little offseason. Here you go, swerving out of 3 lanes of traffic to go get, Kristaps Porzingis. Now, okay, all right. Yeah. Well, make sure that's what you was doing.
I was kind of doing that. Just that's what they wanted when they got him. When they got KP, they wanted that guy that big man that could stretch the floor. Not necessarily a shot blocker, not necessarily a defensive presence. But somebody that could score. That's what they need. They need scoring, or those they want scoring. So I love this deal. I think it's a steal. I think it's a steal. Now, I was on a text chain last night, and out of nowhere, the people on the text chain said, "Man, did the Mavs just get worse?" And my thought was, "What? How? Huh? How did they get worse? How did they get worse here?" So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get how the Mavs are any worse today than they were yesterday. This is a better basketball team right now. I don't think there's any question about it.
Yeah, and what's interesting about Christian Wood is that while defensively he's not necessarily great, and obviously you wanted to find, some rim protection and some interior defense and being able to hopefully improve that going into this upcoming year. But what he does provide is a guy that in volume, shot nearly 5 threes per game, shot, close to 38% from 3, 39% from 3. After the All-Star break, shot over 45% from 3. And a guy that can put the ball on the floor. He's an athletic big who can roll to the rim. There's a lot of good things athletically that Christian Wood can provide. And more importantly, he's on a contract year. He's in the final year of a 3-year, $41 million deal. So he's making a little over $14 million this year. And he's an expiring contract. So it should be a player that's motivated, a guy that's able to come in to provide rim running, be a little bit more of a stretch five. And then also going into this year, maybe trying to prove himself as a guy where things didn't necessarily end well in Houston. Houston was a bad team last year, but a guy from all accounts where we hear from folks down at the Houston Chronicle talking about how he handled himself over the last couple of years with Houston struggling the way that they did, a player that should come into a new atmosphere ready to play. And he can look to Spencer Dinwiddie as a guy who came from a bad situation in Washington and obviously loved his time and continues to love his time here in Dallas. He knows that he is playing with a team now that obviously made his first Western Conference Finals appearance since 2011. I think Christian Wood will find this a very suitable place for him to not only improve his game, but also be a real contributor to a Mavericks team that needs something that he brings to this team.
The only thing I really don't like about the deal, if there's anything, and this is going to be nitpicking, it's, I don't like that they gave up a first-round pick for a guy on an expiring contract.
And I can understand that.
But from a team building standpoint, that's just going to create cap issues and luxury tax issues for you.
Well, here's the thing with that. When you look at the Mavericks and the number 26 overall pick, there clearly wasn't much there for them that they felt like they needed to be compelled to keep that pick to be able to move off of it, to be able to get a guy who is a value contract coming off the books. You got Dwight Powell's in the final year of his contract. He's an expiring contract as well. So you'll be able to clear some space going into next year. There still will be a team that's, pretty much going to be hard capped, obviously, this year, and it's going to be strapped for cap space over the next couple of years with Luka Doncic's rookie max kicking in, at the beginning of this upcoming year. But it does provide you some financial flexibility going forward. And for the Mavericks, a piece that is just 26 years old that could be a part of the long-term future, for this team. So I like it from a lot of different standpoints, financial flexibility, who you gave it relative to what you got, I think was a great value for them. And now you seeing, obviously, the moving on from Boban Marjanovic, who I'm going to miss. Not going to lie to you. Cover this team for 105 through the Fan. Boban Marjanovic is a terrific cover. And obviously Luka's best friend and that kind of thing. So you'll miss him in the locker room. But I think this is a team that definitely took an improvement and a step forward based on acquiring Christian Wood, and I think they'll like what he brings to them going into this upcoming year.
I think that they are going to miss Boban from the Luka friendship standpoint. And look, he did give some quality minutes. He was able to spell some guys and give them some quality minutes, but he didn't. I mean, he was really a non-factor in the playoffs at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a move that. He was going to be on this roster basically for Luka Doncic. That's a wasted roster spot. When you don't have Michael Jordan on your team, Jack Haley is just kind of hanging around, making sure Dennis Rodman minds his P's and Q's. Unless you have MJ, you can't waste roster spots. You just can't do it.